Today, we heard from northern Minnesota lawmakers as they react to news of Walz joining the Harris presidential ticket.
In Northern News Now's Michaela Wrench spoke with leaders on both sides of the aisle who, as you'd imagine, have very different feelings.
I think it's going to look like open borders. I think it's going to look like ending private health insurance, which people that I talk to don't want that. They want to have choice. People want flexibility. They want choice.
Representative Natalie Zalesnikar calls the new Democratic presidential ticket radical. The Fredenberg Township Republican says a Harris-Walz victory would mean an influx of illegal immigration and anti-mining sentiment. 8th District Congressman Pete Stauber agrees.
It's the same car, just a different driver, and Tim Walz fits perfectly in the back seat of that car because of his policies that are very similar.
Neither Republican thinks Walz will be of help to the average blue-collar working family, citing the state's multi-billion-dollar surplus being used up in the past legislative session. Some local DFLers say that spending was the right thing to do.
We're able to make college free for families making less than $80,000, historic investments in housing to make sure that we're preventing homelessness, but that we're also creating pathways to home ownership.
DFL Duluth State Rep Leish Kozlowski says they're all in for the Harris-Walz duo and thinks the Minnesota governor will provide representation for the Midwest and help tackle issues involving agriculture and energy, a sentiment echoed by Minnesota's U.S. Senator.
I think it's fantastic for our state, for the Midwest. I really believe that we need representation from the middle of the country on a national ticket.
Both parties closely watching the presidential campaign season unfold. In Duluth, Michaela Wrench, Northern News Now.
You heard Republicans there call the Harris-Walz ticket anti-mining, with Stauber specifically talking about copper-nickel mining.
Yeah, while the Biden-Harris administration did cancel Twin Metals' lease to mine, as Governor Tim Walz said, he supports the research and environmental studies associated with polymet and twin metals to see if such mining can be done safely in northeast Minnesota.
Other critics